Hi, this is Shawn Sandridge. Thank you so much for clicking on to my video. This is the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I will have the season and this episode down in the comments, so let's just get to it. Okay, so Cynthia is the scene opens with Cynthia going to try to get a rebirth on the girls, meaning the Tatas, and she invites the ladies. She's had her implants for close to 10 years or 10 years. She's going to be turning 50, looking good, Cynthia. And so she's thinking about getting them replaced. So she wants to check. She said it was a maintenance check, which is not uncommon. 10 years is the magical number for implants. And the doctor says, there's some signs of hardening, but they look great. And they did look good. I mean, she had really nice boobs. They didn't look weird or lopsided, and for her age, they looked appropriate. And but she decided she's not going to do anything right now. She is shelving the new boobies. But I don't know. Phaedra always looks over the top when we talk about things like that. She was just a little too animated for me, and I was getting annoyed. Sheree is meeting with her designer, and I was gagging about how much everything was costing. Well outside my budget, but I budget. And she says that she is over $100,000 over budget. I don't even know how you do that. Now, I don't know how you do that. I mean, this goes to show for anyone who's buying a house and buying a massive house, you also have to think not only how much it costs to heat the house, but how much it is going to cost to design the house. So that is an undertaking that I would not take on. But she's $100,000 over budget. She's trying to get down, but looking at those prices didn't seem like she was going to be able to get down. And I just love how they have been making references to IKEA as if IKEA furniture is cheap and bad, and that unless you're in college, you should graduate past IKEA furniture. And I was thinking, I wonder how IKEA is feeling about that, because later in the episode when I was watching, there was an IKEA commercial. So I don't know if any publicity is better than no publicity, but they keep taking digs at IKEA, and I saw an IKEA commercial, so they're obviously one of the sponsors. So I don't know, strange bedfellows, I guess. Mama Joyce and Khandi are shopping to get Riley a birthday present. She's turning 14 and she wants to get her diamonds, and I'm not mad at her. I think it's great. Khandi makes a lot of money. Giving her daughter jewelry like that is, not a big deal. And I think that's great. I mean, I would get my daughter's going to be turning 18, and I have given my daughter jewelry, some nice jewelry in the past, but I wanted to get her something really nice, but the truth of the matter is that she doesn't take care of jewelry very well. So I'm not going to spend that kind of money. But if my daughter was a bit more responsible and really was good with her things, I would definitely spend a good amount of money for something like that. I don't see anything wrong with it. But she's at the jewelry store. Mama Joyce can't help, even though they're shopping for her daughter, she can't help but to try to make some kind of reference about, hitting her up with some jewelry, as if Mama Joyce doesn't have enough jewelry from Khandi, but I digress. They talk about Riley's dad, and that I guess Riley's dad and their birthdays are like a day apart, and that her dad wanted to go and spend some time with her. Khandi's taking it all in stride. I'm not a single mom. I do know lots of single moms, and Khandi is like, listen, I've never interfered with Riley, and if you want to spend time with her for her birthday, you do that. They talk about Riley's idea about having a relationship with her dad, and Riley's over it, and I think she's behaving like a typical teenager. And if you haven't invested in me, I don't know why I should really make a big deal about it. And she called her dad a birth giver. Mama Joyce is still talking about a check. Let it go. Khandi's not worried about it. Why are you? Peter and Noelle are doing yoga together, and Noelle was really honest to Peter about how she felt being a kid in the midst of her mom and him going through this divorce. And I think Noelle, you know, she's a very well spoken, she was really very concrete about how she felt. And I think what Noelle said is resonates with a lot of kids that are going through being part of the collateral damage, if you want to say, of divorce, because they don't get a choice, they don't get a say, they are bystanders of things unfolding around them. And she really just said, you know, it would have been, you know, you guys are taking care of your own stuff, but no one took the time to ask me how I felt about it. And that, you know, Peter was saying that, you know, you're a package deal, and, you know, I was really following the lead of your mom, and I just didn't want to overstep my bounds. And she's like, but I've made a relationship with you. And I think because of the fact that she is 16, 17 years old, it's a little bit different than if she was 10. And, you know, essentially what she's saying is, I realize you and my mom are dissolving a relationship, but you and I had a relationship. And Peter said he's been in her life since she was 8 years old. So he's been there through a very good growth time of her life. And she felt like him, you know, divorcing not only her mom, but her, made it feel like she didn't matter. And I thought it was really good how she was able to express herself to Peter. And, you know, they had an understanding that, you know, he was going to definitely continue on having a relationship with her because they have established a relationship. And then she's like, you are my backup dad. You are, you know, you are a man in my life who I value. And, you know, I just felt like I was thrown away. So I thought that was good. Okay, so on to the craziness. So Shamia and Portia meet up to go to this, you know, healer, and the yoni egg is a really fancy thing for Kegel exercises. And I learned that if your egg falls out as soon as you put it in, you got to work on your Kegels. And I guess your sugar walls, shout out Sheena Eason, need some structuring. I could have gone without seeing Shamia's string. That was a little too up close and personal. And I felt bad. Like if I saw that, if I was her and I saw that, I think I would have fallen out. Anyway, got to get the sugar wall tighten up, but I don't think I would refer my lady bits as a snapping turtle. Portia said that. I thought that was funny. So, you know, Portia was having a little, you know, moment of clarity, and she was talking, and a good portion of the episode ended up talking about the conversation between Khandi and Phaedra. And Khandi is, you know, outing Phaedra about her talking to other men and couldn't wait for Apollo to leave and all this stuff. And Portia was like, you know, it's one thing if the streets are talking, but when your best friend puts some comments into it, it's validating what the streets are talking. And she's like, that's not right. So, you know, Portia and Phaedra have become friends, and so of course she's going to defend Phaedra and even say, you know, as a friend, or you was a best friend, you know, your secrets, those secrets or whatever you knew that intimately, they should go to your grave. That's essentially what she was saying. But Khandi obviously feels differently, and you will find out why. So Riley's birthday is here. She gets her earrings, and then she was saying how her dad called her for her birthday and that he wanted to meet up, and she wasn't sure about it because she's like, this guy is a stranger. And you know, Riley has been in front of the camera for a long time, and she still is not comfortable in front of the camera. And I don't know if that's just her personality or if that's her still not being comfortable in front of the camera. But she was essentially saying that, I don't know, I think I want you to come with me. And so Todd was talking to his daughter Kayla because he didn't know that he had a daughter until much later in life. Kayla might have been like 10 years old, and now she's 18, I think almost 19 now. I didn't like Kayla's hair. There was too much stuff going on. Way too much stuff. But anyway, so Todd was trying to get Khandi to have a perspective about how Riley is feeling. And he just asked, because, you know, when we finally got to meet, did you feel comfortable? And she says, at first, no. And she essentially was telling them that, you know, maybe for the first couple of meetings, you know, Khandi needs to be there. Not Mama Joyce. Not Mama Joyce. But that Khandi needs to be there just for moral support, and that it's not so awkward, and just be there in the background, and that they can kind of take it from there when she feels more comfortable. So I thought that was good that Kayla was able to give a child's perspective about, you know, it's not as easy as it looks. Just because he says, I'm the dad and I want to see my kid, you know, she doesn't know him, and it's not going to be any different. Just because you share DNA doesn't mean that you're going to bond right away. And okay, so okay, so Phaedra meets with Portia and Sheree. Phaedra meets with Portia and Sheree. They spoke about the lunch between Phaedra and Khandi. Phaedra is deflecting, and she still does not know why Khandi is so upset. Well, we're going to find out why Khandi's so upset. And once again, listen, I'm not team anybody, but we all know that Phaedra is very good with being lawyer-like, and having to lie by omission. That she's really not going to be fully culpable about her part in anything. She's been like that from day one, so I'm not quite sure why everybody is surprised. But she's like, I don't understand why she's so into my life. And of course she tries to make digs and go, well, maybe you should be more concerned about being a mother than about what I'm doing. Okay, you're treading on bad territory here. So again, Portia's like, you know, she's feeling some kind of way because even, you know, she feels like Khandi is now on this witch hunt, trying to just spill everybody's business, even about what, you know, that Portia used to back in the day date Khandi's ex. And she just feels like, you know, you don't need to be telling everybody's business, even though in this group everybody tells everybody's business. But again, I guess when we cherry pick what we like, when we don't, this is what happens. Then while Phaedra is making these digs about maybe you should be more concerned about being a mother, she turns around and spills the tea that Khandi and Shamia are messing around. Now, how is that? How is that? If you're going to say that, you should lead by example, I would think. You know, if you don't want someone talking about your business, then don't talk about business. But, you know, Khandi made it very clear in this episode that they are not friends. They are not best friends. They are not ex-best friends. And that, again, there was a friendship, somewhat genuine, but when you think about working with people, this is a collaboration of co-workers, and you can gel well with a co-worker, and when it doesn't work out, you just stop being their friend. Flavia and the realtor and Cynthia's with her family, and they go look at the house, and that's all great. Now, I didn't take any more notes because the rest of the time was dealing about Phaedra and Khandi and Portia. And Khandi was like, okay, you can sit there and let Phaedra get away with whatever you think that she's getting away with, but I know best. And again, I had mentioned it. Beautiful Soul, YouTuber Beautiful Soul, had mentioned this on Bossip about the fact that one of the reasons why Khandi is so over it and is so upset is because she said Phaedra was going around telling people not to work with her. And she said, you messing with my money, that is a problem. And Portia was like, well, yeah, I know it. Yeah, that's a problem for everybody if you're messing with the money. But Khandi takes that as personal. You messing with her livelihood, you messing with her money, you know, all bets are off. We are not friends. And so Khandi is over it. And I had live tweeted that not once has she eaten and not once has she cried. So, you know, she's singing Mary J. Blige, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna shed a tear. She's done. And y'all need to leave Khandi alone, because Khandi obviously knows how to hold a grudge. Khandi is saying, if you messing with my money, then all bets are off, and that you keep pushing me and everybody's gonna go down. So Portia was saying, you know, nothing, you shouldn't be telling people secrets, and you shouldn't even know y'all not friends anymore. And Khandi's like, get away with me, get away from me with this. I don't want to hear anymore. And she politely got up again and did not eat. And I don't know. The reunion is gonna be fire. That's all I can say, because I think if it doesn't happen already, Khandi, did you see how Khandi was trying to get up out of the seat talking about with Portia about don't come with me with this stuff. Now you want to be her friend and stuff. And you know what, Khandi? I caught a little bit of it. Khandi's like, you can be her friend if you want to, but just like she bit her hand, she'll bite Portia's hand too, and then she'll feel differently about it. So that's all I got from that. Let me know what you think. Do you think that if you're a friend, you should go with the go down with the ship as far as with the secrets? Do you think that there are deal breakers regarding what you know about a person? Khandi has said that Phaedra has crossed the line one too many times, and even Mama Joyce had hinted on it. So Mama Joyce obviously knows some other things going on. And she, you know, Khandi said between you know, her trying to be a friend to Phaedra, then of course she still has residual resentment about the comments she made last year about Todd and him getting an allowance from Khandi. And then she's going around town throwing rocks and hiding her hands about people not working with her. And she's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. You are not my friend. So do you think that are there deal breakers in your friendship, that if someone betrays you, that you'll tell everything? Let me know in the comments. Take care of yourself and each other, and I will talk to you tomorrow, because I will be reviewing The Apprentice. Talk to you. Bye.